Good evening. How are we all doing? Yes, sorry for the delay. I had to get myself a brew because I don't know if anyone in Scotland has looked out the window today, but the Arctic is taking over the country. There's ice and snow and all sorts. So, oh, this is me. There we go. So yes, hello. We're editing tonight. Very good chance that a lot of you missed the quick hour-long stream that I did during lunch. The plan, to be honest, is probably I'm going to be doing that every day except for Thursdays. The main reason for that is because we are running behind a little bit, which is fine, totally fine. But I'm very keen to get this done before the end of January, and I'm slightly worried that I won't. So, yes, good. Just goes to show me for taking a wee break. So, a couple of things I want to show you all. After the hour-long stream, I said I would have a wee tinker with the quotes, and I decided to do that. So, I was going to save it, but I decided against it. So, I think this is currently how I'm going to do the quotes. Let me show you. Transhumanist Elise Bowen, we need to evolve past our ape-brained meat sacks. So, the idea is I'm trying to make it look like the dialogue boxes that you get from the audio recordings a little bit. So I think I quite like that. Ignore that there's going to be like a jump here with the transition. That won't be in the final video. It's just the preview view, but you'll see again. Bowen, we need to evolve past. So like this. I think that's quite nice because some of these are quite long, these quotes. So yeah, one of the quotes in particular, the Herman Faustus quotes that I have, they're going to be a little trickier to do. But we're going to kind of see how they turn out once I get the finalized art of Herman Faustus through. Just in case any of you missed it, we are effectively... I've reached out to Checkpoint, Samantha at Checkpoints, who has a great YouTube channel. Totally recommend you check her out. I'll bring her on just so you can see. To create some artwork for me for Herman Faustus. Because her art is awesome. Oops, Checkpoint Gaming. She has a new Last of Us video, actually, that I haven't... Checkpoint Show, sorry, not Checkpoint Gaming. It's terrible. There it is. Yeah, she's got a new video out on The Last of Us that came out just yesterday, so I haven't listened to it myself yet, I haven't watched it yet, but I will be. And yeah, her art is really, really cool. So I've reached out to her to do me some drawings of Herman Faustus, the fictional futurist in System Shock's world, because we don't know what he looks like, so... I spoke to her, gave her some ideas of kind of how I imagined him looking, and she's run with that. And they look really cool, but she's finalising them for me. I'm a little bit out of breath because I ran upstairs with a cup of tea. Sorry, 2 secs. Whew. Yes, Stanley, they're all on my channel. If you go into the channel and go to the playlists... yeah, playlists, and there should be yes, there's a whole stream compilation, currently 33 videos, how I make video essays. Every single VOD is in there. Every single one. And I realise I've just lost you all. Let me come back in. Yes, so yeah, they're all unlisted just because otherwise I don't want them spamming up subscription feeds and stuff. But they are all publicly accessible. Yeah, they're on a playlist. So yeah, so we started part 1. Just to give you a sense of what this is what the lead-in is. System Shock. System Shock's opening is short and sweet, yet we can already pull out gigabytes of stuff from how it sets up its transhumanist future. 46 years... So there we go. Big chunk here that we're going to be talking about. This is where the Herman Faustus bit comes in, so I won't be editing that. We'll just put a placeholder in for now. Let's just pop this in here. Before, just so I know I need to fill it. Shodan went rogue. Hey, Tommy. The futurist Herman Faustus started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity. Before Shodan went rogue, the futurist Herman Faustus. Years before Shodan went rogue. Actually, I think I can edit a little bit of this. So, let's... see, the difficult... You want some nice clean shots showing her, quote-unquote, going rogue. But there aren't many. Because you kind of just see her see her cruelty through the level design and the things that happen to you. So maybe where she locks down a room. Oh, this might be a good one. Perfect. Humanist future. 46. There we are. Humanist future. 46 years before Shodan went rogue, the future. Do I have a cleaner shot? Do I any slow walks up to the? Thank you very much, Mithril. Thank you. There we go. Let's do that. Awesome stuff from how it sets up its transhumanist future. 46 years before Shodan went rogue. And then we'll put in the Herman Faustus clip. So I will just I'll put a Monty in as a placeholder. The futurist Herman Faustus started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity's history and future. The great Faustus started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity's history and future. The Great Depression. Okay, so I have this. I will need to get it up. Let's get rid of that. So I have that saved already. So I need to get the image up. We open up the hard drive. So I have a lot of assets and things that I've already created saved on my hard drive. I'm just getting them here. So 2 seconds. Perfect. So this is probability matrix. It'd be good if we could make this look a little better. I don't like it being so white. I don't really have anything in Canva that can do that. I'm going to change the background to be a bit more... Oh, aye, maybe. That's a little nicer. Blue's a bit much. I mean, I could just take away the background, but I'm not totally convinced I want to do that. We're going with green. That's a bit sickly. Hey, Bikesh. Hey, Mybel. Yeah, a proper color pop might be nice. Maybe if I try that, the background remover. Not sure I like that. Let's see. See what happens if I change the background. Just make it green for argument's sake. Oh, it's horrible. Gross, 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 gross. Let's get this back. Okay. I mean, I'm literally just showing a... This is just from the PDF. I could try and recreate it, but I don't know if it's worth it. It's just a quick... Well, I'm going to be zooming in on it anyway, so let's... VWH. Page 2. Okay. Hermann Faustus started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity's history and future. Faustus started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity's history and future. The Great Depression's history and future. The Great Depression's here, so is coronavirus. Oh, sorry, the MK virus. Okay. Let's make it bigger. Yeah, maybe I could just add a little dash of color. That white is not changing color, is it? What if I... Maybe that's too garish. Yeah, there we go. Be preferable if the text was white, but I don't think it is. That's fine. Hermann Faustus started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity's history and future. Okay, so let's keyframe it here. Started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity's history and future. The Great Depression's here. The Great Depression. The Great Depression's here. So is coronavirus. Oh, so is coronavirus. So is coronavirus. So is coronavirus. Oh. So is coronavirus. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. The virus. Oh, sorry. A little bit earlier. Virus. Oh, sorry. The end. Sorry, the MK. Okay. The MK virus. Okay. Started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity's history and future. The Great Depression's here, so is coronavirus. Oh, sorry, the MK virus. Predicting that mankind was on an inevitable path to self-destruction, Faustus wrote, "I once felt the..." Oh, sorry, T went down the wrong glug. No, Mithril, I have not read any James Bridle. No, doesn't ring a bell to me. Name a book? In future. The Great Depression's here, so is coronavirus. Oh, sorry, the MK virus. MK is a bit too delayed. Oh, sorry, the MK virus. Predicting that mankind was on an inevitable path to self-destruction. This might be where motion array comes in handy. Okay. What happens if I just type apocalypse in? What do we get? I mean, that's ridiculous, sure. Don't I hate that? Nope. Might be a good one. I like that. I think that keeps things relatively light. HD's enough for me. Cool, that's going to take a minute. Predicting that mankind was on an inevitable path to self-destruction, Faustus wrote. Faustus wrote. And then this is going to be where the quote comes in. Faustus wrote, I once felt the ever-encroaching corporate dominance model was a blight on this country. I now see it as our only hope. Of all the megacorporations operating in America, Tri-Optimum is the only one with the foundational resources required for my plan. I pray they will listen. Oh, he's still going. Okay. How long is that quote? 15 seconds, that's fine. They will listen. Hey, Sketch. Faustus isn't a real philosopher. He exists just for System Shock. But there's a real-life parallel in Nick. They will listen. Faustus isn't a... This is a different Faustus bit. They will listen. Faustus isn't a real philosopher. Great. Alright. Philosopher. He exists just for System Shock. And I got a thingy of Nick Bostrom as well, so I don't need to waste any time tonight doing that. There he is. God knows how I'm going to show off the vulnerable world hypothesis. Because I can't use any of his. Because we saw on stream, it gets claimed, like, immediately. He exists just for System Shock, but there's a real-life parallel in Nick Bostrom, transhumanist and founder of the organization Transhumanist and parallel in Nick Bostrom. Oh god, but my antivirus software hates Humanity Plus, so let's see if we can get on the website. Yep. No, cool, we got on. Alright. That's kind of neat. Let me record. What if I do this? Cool. Da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay, good. Sorry, I'm just concentrating. Just cut out my mouse cursor. Parallel in Nick Bostrom, transhumanist and founder of the organization Humanity Plus. It's a little bit of movement. A real-life parallel in Nick Bostrom, transhumanist and founder of the organization Humanity Plus. He spent the majority of his life trying to predict the future through a probability matrix, and you might recognize his name. He spent the majority of his life trying to predict the future through a probability matrix, and you might recognize his name because he came up with the vulnerable world hypothesis. His name because he predict the future through a probability matrix. And you might recognize his name because he came up with the vulnerable world hypothesis. Okay, let's get my transhumanism text. Where did it go? Back when I played the original, that's fine, Shodan, my reality hates pronouns, whilst our main character, the hack. Unlike with, say, Bioshock, I don't believe it. So that's what we're gonna do here, just like when I covered the Bioshock games or so. Mars or saying he hates pronouns. Whilst our main character, the hacker, will know by Alex Blackman. Some of you will know. Just like the games that inspire thematic focus, transhumanism. The idea that there it is. Yep, that and that. I miss my ultra-wide monitor. It made this so easy. All right. His name because he came up with the vulnerable world. Vulnerable world hypothesis. Vulnerable world hypothesis. The vulnerable world hypothesis. The vulnerable world hypothesis. We're jumping into the deep end early, but it's useful for came up with the vulnerable world. Not sure I love it. Not sure I love it. Let's see. What do I do with this? Transhuman. Oh, that's it. I dimmed the lights a little bit. Cool. That guy kind of looks like Prince William. Actually, I totally see it. Yeah, yes, Stanley, he absolutely does. Yeah. Brightness. A little bit. There we go. with the vulnerable... with the vulnerable world hypothesis. We're jumping into the deep end early, but it's useful for us to explain what this is, because it lays the foundation for how a future like System Shocks has come about. Nick Bostrom asks us world hypothesis. We're jumping into the deep end early, but it's useful for us to explain what this is, because it lays the foundation for how a future like System Shocks has come about. I don't want to stick on the TED Talk, I want to move on to something else. I think as long as there's variation, I'm just explaining who Nick Bostrom is. I feel like I can use the same clips from the same talk. As long as I'm not sticking with him for too long. Hypothesis. We're jumping into the deep end early, but it's useful for us to explain what this is, because it lays the foundation for how a future like System Shocks has come about. Nick Bostrom asks us to imagine and what this is, because it lays the foundation for how a future like System Shocks has come about. Nick Bostrom asks us to imagine an urn, and inside the urn are a... God, is Motion Array going to be able to help me with this? I believe that it won't. Urn. Figures. Let's try it in here. I think if I can, we're just going to use the clip of him actually talking about it. Nick Bostrom, vulnerable world hypothesis. This one where he talks about it. Yes. Probably try and animate it myself. I mean, it's just balls coming out of an urn. Actually, you know what? Yeah, bugger it. Let's just use keyframes and just do it ourselves. Means I can make everything quite palatable as well. Urn. Yeah. Well, no, let me just keep the background. I'll get rid of that in a minute. Okay, so we want our urn. Our urn is going to have to be filled. I need a filled urn for the balls to come out of. So... ideally something that looks kinda nice. No. A nice block color. Is it an urn? Is it a vase? Who knows? Oh, recommendation for you all. We finished watching the TV show Dopesick tonight with Michael Keaton. Bloody brilliant. Really good TV show. Totally recommend it. I thought I understood the OxyContin crisis, but, like, I did not at all. Really good. Okay, cool. So we've got our urn. And, bugger it. Shall we maybe put Showdown on it? That might be fun. Or even the Trioptimum logo, which is here somewhere. There's Showdown. Trioptimum logo. Let's make it a Trioptimum urn. Give it a border. Oh no, not that sort of border. Thought it'd be on the outside. It's fine. That'll do. So, 1 urn, please. Complete. Done. And now we need our balls. I could just do a circle, but can I color these balls? Yes, I can. Grand. So, white balls. Okay. Let's actually just keep them all centralized, make this easier on me for later. Okay, stick a little skull on it. Yeah, nice. Okay. See if we can do this. So, got my urn, got my balls. Has come about. Nick Bostrom asks us to imagine future like System Shocks has come about. Nick Bostrom asks us to imagine could just do it with maybe just want to kind of spin on screen. In an urn and oh, bit too much. In an urn and in okay. To imagine an urn and an urn. Imagine an urn and an urn and inside an urn and inside the urn or this would be so much easier if I was working from the ultra wide, because this screen, this is going off the screen and it wouldn't do that, but it's fine. An urn, and inside the urn are a bunch of balls. A bunch of balls. A bunch of balls. An urn, and inside the urn are a Hey Noir, it's getting there, it's getting there. Joe, I use Wondershare Filmora, top left here. An urn, and inside the urn are a bunch of balls. I don't think that works for me, not for what I'm trying to do here. To imagine an urn and inside the urn and inside the urn or whoops and inside the urn or a bunch of balls. Yeah, you're going to be hearing this a lot while I get this sorted. To imagine an urn and inside the urn or a bunch of balls. Inside the urn or a bunch of balls. Or a bunch of balls. Nick, if you could stay on one shot, bro, that would be lovely for the background of what I'm trying to do here. There we go. Inside the urn or a bunch of balls. I mean, what are you keeping in your urn? Presumably a bunch of balls. Urn Diaries, day 691. Yep. Again, it's all the trickier stuff happening here at the beginning. It'll get much easier once we get past this stuff. You at the back, stop laughing. I can see you. As time passes and humanity... A bunch of balls. You at the back, stop laughing. A bunch of balls. A bunch of balls. Do I want to... Maybe... A bunch of balls. So you at the back. Balls. You at the back. So you at the back, stop. You at the back, stop laughing. Laughing, I can see you. Stop laughing, I can see you. Balls. You at the back, stop laughing, I can see you. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, does it? Balls. You at the back, stop laughing. For a bunch of balls. Huh. This is the grind nature. Yeah, honestly, guys, entertain yourselves. We're going to be here for a bit. It's us to imagine an urn, and inside the urn are a bunch of balls. Oh, hold the phone. What if I do this? Damn it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Turner, a bunch of balls. You the back. A bunch of balls. Balls. You. Balls. You. See, this is going to ruin it for you all. We're going to get to this bit when the actual video comes out, and you're not going to be able to take it seriously, because all you're going to hear is the word balls over and over again for 15 minutes, at least.
Your balls. You in the back, stop laughing. So you in the back, stop laughing.
Sure.
Stop laughing, I can see you. So you in the back, stop laughing, I can see you. I can see you.
Oh, that's a bit too much. It's way too much.
I can see you. Laughing, I can see you. As time... You. As... You. As... As... As time passes and humanity invents new technologies, we pull out lots of white burn or a bunch of balls. You in the back, stop laughing, I can see you. As time passes and humanity invents new technologies, we pull out lots of white balls. For example, the wheel would...
See, I don't mind the sound of my own voice normally, which, yes, is vain and narcissistic, but it's when it's the same thing over and over like this, yes, I grow to absolutely despise my own voice. Yeah, this is, like, really upsetting.
As time passes and humanity invents new technologies, we pull out lots of white balls. For example, see you. As time passes, I can see you. As time passes and as time as time passes,
it's not even a particularly good bit. It's just important, I guess, to flag it at the start of the video, so I might as well kind of put the time into it.
as time passes and humanity invents new technologies, we
Maybe we could just slow this down a bit. Don't want to be shaking it too much.
Humanity invents new technologies.
I need to get it all the way up here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
As time passes and humanity invents new technologies, we pull out lots of white balls. Technologies we
Okay.
invents new technologies, we pull out we pull out We pull out lots new technologies. We pull out lots of
It's actually going to be quite a bit higher than I thought. Get a few more of these in.
we pull out lots of
in a minute. Okay.
or a phone. But Nick says it's in humanity invents new technologies. We pull out lots of white balls. For example, the wheel would be a white ball, or we pull out lots of white balls. For example, the wheel would
Oh, it's way too early. Here we go.
of white balls. For example, the wheel would be a white ball, or a phone.
Cool. Bring this down.
Out. Nick Bostrom asks us to imagine an urn, and inside the urn are a bunch of balls. You in the back, stop laughing, I can see you. As time passes and humanity invents new technologies, we pull out lots of white balls. For example, the wheel would be a white ball, or a phone. But Nick says it's inevitable that in the urn is an ominous phone. But white ball, or a phone. But or a phone. A phone. But Nick says it's inevitable that in the urn is an ominous black. It's inevitable that in the urn is an ominous black ball, an invention that will eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction of the human race.
Okay.
In the urn is an ominous black ball. Is an ominous black ball. Is an ominous black ball, an invention that will eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction of the human race.
Make you big. Make you big. Bigger. Not big enough. Bigger. Not big enough. Bigger.
Is an ominous black ball, an invention is an ominous black ball, an invention that will eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction of the human race.
Okay,
That
cool.
will eventually pull an invention.
There we go. that we'll eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction of the human race. You might be thinking of nuclear weapons, but Nick doesn't categorize a nuke as the black technologies. We pull out lots of white balls. For example, the wheel would be a white ball.
Perfect. Let's get some quick assets. Wheel. What are some other cool inventions we've made? What have we made? A car? Car would be quite cool. What else? Telebox. Planes would be good, actually. I've already got a vehicle, though. I think I'll stick with TV. Planes are good, though. Planes are arguably a better invention than a TV, for sure. Radio as well, yep. Okay.
Lots of white balls. For example,
Cool, that's fine. Let me just move it a little bit.
For example,
oh, fuck's sake. Fuck's sake, lads.
the wheel would be a white ball. Or a phone. For example, the wheel would be a white ball. For example, the wheel would be a white ball. Would be a white ball.
All of this for such a...
The wheel would be a white ball.
Right, here we go.
The wheel would be a white ball. Lots of white balls. For example, the wheel would be a white ball, or a phone. But Nick says it's inevitable that it...
Hold the phone, that TV's out of sync. Here we go. Got my glitch. I love this glitch transition, it's so good. I definitely overuse it, but for now, I'm sticking with it. Just quick ones.
invents new technologies, we pull out lots of white balls. For example, the wheel would be a white ball, or a phone. But Nick says it's inevitable that in the urn is an ominous black ball, an invention that we'll eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction of the human race. You might be thinking of nuclear weapons, but Nick does an invention that will eventually pull...
I think I'll glitch that and make it bigger rather than make it move.
Ball. An invention that will eventually pull out is an ominous black ball. An invention that will eventually black that in the urn is an ominous black ball. An ominous black ball.
Bugger it. Actually, why am I bothering? Why am I bothering to make the ball bigger when I can just make it bigger in this so it stays high res? Stupid, 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 stupid. There we go. Big. There we go. Da do 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 do.
An invention that will eventually pull out is an ominous black ball, an invention that...
Well, no, because that's thinking that, so let's put this here.
An invention that...
Damn it.
Ball. An invention that will eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction.
Glitch effect. Oops.
Ominous black ball, an invention that will eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction of the human race.
And why is it not shaking the skull? The skull's what I want to shake.
Black ball, an invention that will eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction of the human race. You might be thinking of nuclear weapons, but Nick doesn't categorize a nuke as the black ball because it probably wouldn't kill the entire...
Does Motion Array have anything of a nuke? No, I didn't think so. I could just get the actual explosion, can't I? Mushroom cloud. That'll do. Fab. Great. Oh, we're getting these already. Lovely. Put you there, put you there. Yes, create the proxy file, yes please.
Oh, sorry, the MK virus. Predicting that mankind was on an inevitable path to self-destruction, Faustus wrote, "I once felt the ever-encroaching corporate dominance model was a blight on this country. I now see it as our only hope. The human race." You might be thinking of nuclear weapons, but Nick doesn't categorize a nuke as the black ball because it probably wouldn't kill the entire human race, just 99. The black ball because it probably wouldn't kill the entire human race, just 99.999% of us through mutually assured destruction. The black Okay, we're back in. Yeah, I've just seen that it's acting up for you guys too. OBS just told me they disconnected, then reconnected. Sorry about that. If it does that, we're just continuing tonight. Everything does get saved in the VOD when OBS messes up. For tomorrow... For tomorrow's streams, I'm going to be looking at streaming just straight from YouTube, see if that does anything differently. So yeah, sorry about that. I know it's really annoying. You might be thinking of nuclear weapons, but Nick doesn't categorize a nuke as the black ball because it probably wouldn't kill the entire human race, just 99.999% of us through mutually assured destruction. The black ball would lead to an extinction event, mutually assured destruction. Of us through mutually assured destruction. The black ball would lead to an extinction event, and Nick believes that we need to start preparing for this. Us through mutually assured destruction. The black ball would lead to an extinction event, and Nick believes that we need to start preparing for this inevitability with technology. We need to prepare humanity to leave behind our squishy meat sacks and ascend to something that would be able to, with technology, to start preparing for this inevitability sacks and ascend to that Nick's real and boring destruction. The black ball would lead to an destruction. The black ball would lead to an extinction event, and Nick believes that we need to start preparing for this inevitability with technology. With technology. Wait, is the stream not working for everybody now? Is it totally gone? Right, 2 secs. With technology. Oh no, okay, so it seems to be working for me, that's fine. Event. And Nick believes that we need to start preparing for this inevitability event. And Nick believes that we need to start preparing for this inevitability with technology. With technology. For this inevitability okay, let's just check how that flows. That's what we're gonna do here, just like when I covered the Bioshock games or Soma or the Forgotten Sins of System Shock. System Shock's opening is short and sweet, yet we can already pull out gigabytes of stuff from how it sets up its transhumanist future. 46 years before Shodan went rogue, the futurist Hermann Faustus started to develop a predictive model tracing various waves of innovation spanning humanity's history and future. The Great Depression's here, so's coronavirus, the MK virus. Predicting that mankind was on an inevitable path to self-destruction, Faustus wrote, "I once felt the ever-encroaching corporate dominance model. Pray they will listen." Faustus isn't a real philosopher, he exists just for System Shock, but there's a real-life parallel in Nick Bostrom, transhumanist and founder of the organization Humanity Plus. He spent the majority of his life trying to predict the future through a probability matrix, and you might recognize his name because he came up with the vulnerable world hypothesis. We're jumping into the deep end early, but it's useful for us to explain what this is, because it lays the foundation for how a future like System Shock's has come about. Nick Bostrom asks us to imagine an urn, and inside the urn are a bunch of balls. You in the back, stop laughing, I can see you. As time passes and humanity invents new technologies, we pull out lots of white balls.
For example, the wheel would be a white ball, or a phone. But Nick says it's inevitable that in the urn is an ominous black ball, an invention that will eventually pull out that will lead to the extinction of the human race. You might be thinking of nuclear weapons, but Nick doesn't categorize a nuke as the black ball because it probably wouldn't kill the entire human race, just 99.999% of us through mutually assured destruction. The black ball would lead to an extinction event, and Nick believes that we need to start preparing for this inevitability with technology. We need to prepare humanity to leave behind our squishy meat sacks and ascend to something.
Cool. I need to pop in a quick system shock thing here.
Like System Shocks has come about. To explain what this is, because it lays the foundation for
No, Austin, never. I'll never do live debuts. Doing premieres and stuff, A, it kills a channel, it kills a video, notoriously, and B, I would sit just, like, screaming at myself while the chat just kind of goes nuts. Yeah, never. Yes, Bikash, they did send me a button, yeah, they did. I got the silver play button.
Because it lays the foundation for how a future like System Shocks has come about. Nick Bostrom asks us to lead to an extinction event, and Nick believes that we need to start preparing for this inevitability with technology. We need to prepare humanity to leave behind our squishy meat sacks and ascend to something that would be able to adapt to this event.
Back to cyborg stuff, that'd be good. Well, don't do that then. Yeah, totally, yeah.
With technology, we need to prepare humanity to leave behind
thanks,
our
Stanley.
squishy meat
Thank you.
sacks and ascend to something that would be able to...
No, because I'm going to use that clip later, so just want to show the cyborgs.
With technology, we need to prepare humanity to leave behind our squishy meat sacks and ascend to something that would be able to adapt to this event. Which seems like a paradox, but let's not think about it. With technology, we need to prepare humanity to leave behind our squishy meat sacks and ascend to something that would be able to adapt to this event. Would be able to adapt to this event. Which event. Which seems like a paradox.
Nope, bit too slow.
Which seems like a paradox, but let's not think about that.
Let's get some more different sort of clips of you, Nick. Yeah.
For this inevitability with technology. We need to prepare humanity to leave behind our squishy meat sacks and ascend to something that would be able to adapt to this event. Which seems like a paradox, but Which seems like a paradox, but
Actually.
Something that would be able to adapt to this event. Which seems...
This is such a pretty typical staple, but I love doing this, and I feel like it keeps flow going.
Which seems like a...
Little bit too... There we go.
Which seems like a paradox, but let's... But let's not think about...
Nope. It's annoying.
but let's not think. But let's not think about that. Nick. But let's not think about that. Nick's real. Nick's real and boring and non. It's real. Nick's real and boring. Nick's real. Nick's real. Nick's real and boring. Boring and non. About that. Nick's real and boring and non-fictional. That Nick's real and boring and non-fictional. No video on Prey, Bikesh. I don't like Prey. You are the 50th person to ask if you haven't already. I don't care for the game. I don't care for it. The video I would make on it would not be the video you'd want. I just did not gel with it when I played it. Fictional. Back to Faucis. I think it has an amazing opening, and then I think after that point, it's a bit dull. Non-fictional. Back. Fictional. Back. That Nick's real and boring and non-fictional. Back to Faucis. Non-fictional. Back. Back to Faucis. Back to Faucis. I've got cool art of him. Old Herman believes that humanity was on a perfect. Okay. Stick the Monty in so I know art of him. Old Herman believes that humanity was on a path to extinction, and the only means. And I'll do a little glitch transition there. Faucis, I've got cool art of him. Old Herman believes that humanity was on a path to extinction, and the only means we had to save ourselves was corporate dominance and technological acceleration. Strangely, and despite being so important to the world building, he isn't even in System Shock. We learn about him in the Strangely, and despite being so important to the world building, he isn't even in System Shock. I'd be much more likely to cover like Deus Ex than I would Prey, but that's not me saying I'm working on Deus Ex anytime soon. I think I need a bit of a break from immersive sims, to be honest. And there's so much kind of coming out this year. I don't know what the second half of the year currently looks like critique-wise, but I do know what the first 6 months look like. You're getting this, Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League, Alan Wake. They're the big three. There'll be other videos too, but they're the big three I'm focusing on. System Shock. We learn about him in the there was a Prey beforehand I Make Stuff. I played that too. Really liked that game. Really liked the original Prey. System Shock. We learn about him in the Tri-Optimum employee handbook that everybody gets with a copy of the game. There's waves of information. He isn't even in System Shock. We learn about him in the Tri-Optimum employee handbook that everybody gets with a copy of the game. There's employee handbook that everybody gets with a copy of the game. There's waves of information in here, from Tri-Optimum's corporate history, business plans outlining scientific breakthroughs. This will need to be sped right up. Isn't even in System Shock. We learn about him in the Tri-Optimum employee handbook that everybody gets with a copy of the game. There's waves.
waves of information in here.
Whoops, oh, maybe a little too fast. That's fine, that's not a bad thing.
Shock. We learn about him in the trial. System Shock. We learn about him in the Tri-Optimum employee handbook that everybody gets with a copy of the game. There's waves of information in here from waves of information in here. From Tri-Optimum's corporate history, business plans outlining scientific breakthroughs that would help us conquer the stars. But just in case you want to skip the reading and get to the bit where you push buttons, history, business plans outlining scientific breakthroughs that would help us conquer the stars.
Cool, still a bit too fast, that's perfectly fine.
System Shock. We learn about him in the Tri-Optimum employee handbook that everybody gets with a copy of the game. There's waves of information in here from Tri-Optimum's corporate history, business plans outlining scientific breakthroughs that would help us conquer the stars. But just in case you want to skip the reading and get to the bit where you push buttons, just in case you want to skip the reading and get to the bit where you push buttons, the game's opening sets a cyberpunk scene of corruption, rebellion. Push buttons. The game's opening sets a cyberpunk scene of corruption, rebellion, corporate fascism, and general assholery. Buttons. The game's opening set. Push buttons. The game's opening sets a cyberpunk scene.
Put this maybe in here. Just have us fade in over it because it's a bit too jarring right now. So Stanley's asking, would you consider doing a critique on a game studio's design philosophy evolution up your alley? Probably not, Stanley, no. It was one of those things where maybe I would like bring it in if I thought it was relevant to a specific game, but I like doing like, here's a critique of a video game, and I'm gonna pull in some extra stuff while I go, sort of stuff. That's the sort of vibe I much prefer. Full kind of histories of studios and stuff, I much prefer to kind of bring in. I think there are people out there that do that sort of thing better than I could.
The game's opening sets a cyberpunk scene of corruption,
how do I want to do this?
Sets a cyberpunk scene of
right, corruption, show Tri-Optimum's building. Coming out. There it is.
Scene of corruption. Fascism and general opening sets a cyberpunk scene of corruption, rebellion, rebellion.
Don't want to use the cop stuff yet because we're about to talk about that quite a lot. So let me just show this. Yep, perfect.
Rebellion, corporate fascism.
And general assholery, of course, will be Diego. And general assholery.
Corruption, rebellion, corporate fascism, and general assholery.
Perfect. I need to import the other clip I had that I forgot to download, which is somewhere in here. Nope, wrong one. It's somewhere in here. Yes. There it is. Music free opening.
Hey, look at Path. You're right. Best is Warrior Within, Bakesh, but the, what was it, 2005 reboot? I think that's really underrated. And I haven't played the new one yet, The Lost Crown. I've got it downloaded. I'm going to treat myself and play it when I do it, basically. How'd it go with the new update? Are you asking about Cyberpunk, Ajax? So I downloaded it, and would you believe it, I can't seem to access the Phantom Liberty stuff. I've tried to follow guides online, I've tried to do everything I possibly can, and it just seems like even though it's technically installed, the game is not letting me play it, which honestly is very annoying, and I've already lost interest, annoyingly, because Prince of Persia's out, so that's going to be my next one. 2008 reboot, thank you, Bakesh. Yeah, I think that's kind of underrated. There's something quite special about that. It's very different, but I really liked it. What's the fourth one they did? That one was kind of just forgettable. That one didn't really hook me.
The following daily summary for Thursday, April 7th, the following...
Assholery.
The following daily summary for Thursday, April 7th, The following daily summary for Thursday, April 7th,
Definitely living up to the Phantom Part name. That's alright, Ajax. I'll get around to it eventually. It's just other stuff has taken over now.
2072 is brought to you by the Tri-Optimum Corporation.
Here we go. We are the hacker. We are the hacker. Middle name unknown. We are. Cool.
By the Tri-Optimum Corporation.
We are the hacker. Middle name unknown. Move this in a bit. We are the hacker. We are the hacker. Middle. Just want me cracking my. There we go. Just want me cracking my knuckles. We are the hacker. Middle name unknown. Perfect. Much as drone coming through as possible, because I really like this opening, it's fun. But I do have gripes. It's 2072 and we're breaking into Tri-Optimum servers to grab a military-grade neural interface. Oh, okay, not yet then. Hack away. Servers to grab a military-grade neural interface. Earth is a dusky buzz of neon, flying cars and drones, and just in case you're unable to figure out which games were inspired by System Shock, Night Dive even copies Prey's breathtaking opening with diegetic logos flickering over industrial. Earth is a dusky buzz of neon, flying cars and drones, and Prey, Prey, Prey. Where are you, Prey? Oh, damn it, I didn't label it with Prey, did I? It's annoying. You're in here somewhere. Picking a Morgan. Titles. Shoo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. visual interface. Earth is a dusky buzz of neon, flying cars and drones. Oh, come on. This isn't you guys, it's my editing software just taking a minute. I think it's because of the file size of this. It does not like prey footage. I've used this before, and for some reason it really does not like this footage. Which is another reason why I would do a prey one. And just in case you're unable to figure out which games were inspired by System Shock, Night Dive even copies Prey's breath. And just in case you're unable to figure out which games were inspired by System Shock, oh, that glitches out. That's really annoying. Need to move it. Oh, I'm glad I convinced you, Waleed. And just in case you're unable to figure out which games were inspired by System Shock, there we go. Night Dive even copies Prey's breathtaking opening with diegetic logos flickering over industrial piping and metal skyscrapers. It's beautiful, it's electric, it's toxic, but there's skyscrapers. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's electric. Here we go. It's beautiful. It's electric. It's toxic. But there's something that feels missing in the remix version. It's toxic. But there's something that feels missing in the remix version. See, in the world of System Shock, Tri-Optimum has taken over the United States. Actually no, because I'm still talking. Version. See, in the world of System Shock, Tri-Optimum has taken over. Let's pop a Monty in. Version. See, version. See, in the world of System Shock... Lovely. Oops. See, in the world of System Shock, Tri-Optimum has taken over the United States. It's everywhere. Pillows, mugs, radio, even the menu is branded with their logo, which is... punk scene of corruption... Oh, actually, I could just zoom in on the radio bit. What do I say? It's everywhere. Pillows, mugs, radio, even... Okay, put these back down. Everywhere. Over the United States. It's everywhere. Pillows, mugs, radio, mugs, radio. Alright, damn it. Pillow. This is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to find, isn't it? I say it's everywhere, and yeah, I bet you I struggle now to find fucking Tri-Optimum branded stuff. Let's just try the first room. Hey, don't worry, Waleed, you're not alone. For what it's worth, that's actually how I consume a lot of but you know, that's how I like, you know, deal with a lot of other video essayists. I listen to their stuff in the background while I'm doing something else as well. Totally recommend it. It means that you don't have to watch any of my god-awful editing, you know? Right. Okay, right. Pillows would probably be in the quarters, and the quarters were on the security level? Various bedrooms. God, good for me. I must have known this was coming. Pillow? Yeah, beaut. Look at that. Bloody genius, so I am. It's everywhere. Pillow. Everywhere. Pillows. Mugs, radio, even the menu. There's technically a mug there, but I don't want it to be in the same clip. What if I just zoom in? Pillows, mugs. Right there. Pillows, mugs. Yeah. Dates. It's everywhere. Pillows, mugs, radio. Even the menu is branded with their logo, which is... Yeesh, when did I pause on stream? Ever? I must have. I paused a lot on stream. Tell a lie, I know exactly when I paused. Well, right there. Yep. Mugs may be on executive. Yeah, that's a good point. There it is. I just wanted the menu. Cool, we got it. Mugs, radio, even the menu is branded with their logo, which is awesome. Which is awesome. Pillows, mugs, radio, even the menu is branded with their logo, which is awesome. And it can do this because of something called the Hayes-Bishop Bill. That lets a corporation whose employees make over 2/3 of a region's population form a sovereign government. Still keen to use as much as possible. I'm keen to use as much System Shock footage as possible. We don't have much of Edward Diego. We're focusing on the opening here, so, you know, using footage from the opening is fine. Even the menu is branded with their logo, which is awesome. And it can do this because of something called the Hayes-Bishop Bill that lets a corporation whose employees make over 2/3 of a region's population form a sovereign government. The White House is still here, but it's lost all alienated all its power. Now why government? The White House is still here. Sovereign government. The White House is still here, but it's lost all its power. Now why the hell would the American government pass this bill, you might be wondering? Bribes and blackmail can go a long way, but the White House is still here, but it's lost all its power. Now why the hell would the American government pass this bill, you might be wondering? Oh wow, yep, that's good. Yep, there we are. Again, I've never had any problems with the editing software until I started streaming it. Lovely. Let's freeze that frame. Now, why the hell? Now, why the hell would the American government pass this bill, you might be wondering? Bribes and black... Bribes and blackmail can go a long way, but the door was actually cracked. Oh, I've got it on autosave, Bikesh, don't worry. Autosave, and it backs up every 15 minutes to a cloud, so we're all good. Like, even if the saves don't work, it has a retrievable thing I can go and get. Bribes and blackmail can go a long way, but the door was actually cracked open in 2010, when the Supreme Court... Just show walking around Diego's office for this. Bribes and blackmail can go a long way, but the door... Let's be honest, no one is wondering why the government passed this bill. Yeah, totally fair. You're forgetting all about Fuckwit69, Austin. I don't know if you were here for that. I've got a fun tweet that I need to put on screen in a wee bit. It'll show up before we finish up today. American government passed this bill, you might be wondering. Bribes and blackmail can go a long way, but the door was actually cracked open in 2010, when the Supreme Court ripped up a bunch of campaign The door was actually cracked open in 2010. You might be wondering. Bribes and blackmail can go a long way, but the door was actually cracked open in 2010, when the Supreme Court ripped up a bunch of campaign finance laws that stopped corporations from freely spending on political ad campaigns. Again, it's trying to show this stuff. I can't show news articles yet because I'm trying to hold up. I'm trying not to let on that this was a real thing. Because whilst American viewers might know, I guarantee that a lot of other people won't. I didn't know. Bribes and blackmail can go a long way, but the door was actually cracked open in 2010, when the Supreme Court ripped up a bunch of campaign in 2010. Maybe just a bit of motion array footage of the Supreme Court? There's got to be something there. Oh yeah. Perfect. God love motion array. It might honestly be the best thing that the best subscription I have out of all of these. Oh, music. What's that looping for? Effectively makes it a...
Maybe a bit too long. Not yet. I'm not ready to change yet.
Mugs, radio. Even the menu is branded with their logo, which is awesome. And it can do this because of something called to open in 2010, when the Supreme Court
downloaded footage.
when the Supreme Court ripped up a bunch of campaign finance laws that stopped corporations from freely spending on political ad campaigns. And if that sounds like...
Nah, because I'm not going to kind of bring any AI stuff in. I'm just staying away from it. I'm not interested in it.
10. When the Supreme Court ripped up a bunch of campaign finance laws that stopped corporations from freely spending on political ad campaigns.
Normally when I'm editing, what I'll do is I'll maybe watch a course or something on the side to try and do a special thing I want to do. Hey Leo. But I'm not doing that for these because A, we're running out of time, and B, I'm streaming it. And you're watching to see me edit, not to watch me watch a course, basically. Yeah, like no, I much prefer kind of seeing an area where I go, would struggle a little bit with this. I need to figure out how to do this thing, and then I'm going to go away and I'm going to learn that skill, rather than relying on a robot to do it for me.
10. When the Supreme Court ripped up a bunch of campaign finance laws that stopped corporations from freely spending on political ad campaigns. And if that sounds like some ripped up a bunch of campaign finance laws that stopped corporations from freely spending on political ad campaigns. And if that sounds like... The Supreme Court ripped up a bunch of campaign finance laws that stopped corporations from freely spending on political ad campaigns. And if that sounds like some solid cyberpunk world building, it is, but here...
Just have the general flying view for this.
ad campaigns. And if that sounds like some solid cyberpunk world building, it is, but here's the kicker. That 2010 Supreme Court ruling, it is, but here's the kicker. That 2010 Supreme Court ruling, it actually happened. That That 2010 Supreme Court ruling is, but here's the kicker. That 2010 Supreme Court ruling...
I feel like this is just, it's a bit too bright, it's a bit too jarring, isn't it?
That 2010 Supreme Court ruling, it actually happened. Citizens United versus... It actually happened.
There we go. Well, again, Austin, I can't remember if it was you that I spoke to about this, that I mentioned this to, but your toothbrush companies are claiming that your toothbrush has AI built into it now. Which, you know. I mean, it's just basic machine learning, really, isn't it? What's all this? None of this is me. Steamboat Willie. I'm not searching Steamboat Willie. Todd, I don't even know who Todd in the Shadows is. Huh. I see that YouTube's giving him a wee punt. Good for you, Todd. What happens if I type my name in? This is just all of my searches to check see how my stuff shows up, yeah. Right. Citizen United.
Citizens United versus FEC.
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. Boom. Page 2. Hey, Snaky. Alright, pop this into the assets. Let's make this a start. Let's make it come out.
Actually happened. Citizens United versus FEC. I told you System Shock shows us a very possible future to be wary of, and this stuff will become way more obvious as we go. But anyway, back to the actual game. More obvious as we go. But anyway, back to the actual game. Shodan, Trioptimum's sentient hyper-optimized data access will become way more obvious as we go. But anyway, back to the actual game.
Oh, is this? It's supposed to be snaky, right? Yeah, not like snack. Snack carnival.
Obvious as we go. But anyway, back to the actual game. Actual game. Back to the actual game. Shodan, Trioptimum's sentient hyper-optimized data access network, is playing Big Sister and watching everybody do everything at all times through a million cameras.
Where's my Bill Gates clip? I had one. There it is. There he is. Hey, Bill.
For a million cameras. If you imagine Bill Gates installed a Microsoft camera on every street corner, you'd be...
No, okay, well, I don't want the interviewer. I don't care about the interviewer. There we go.
Million cameras. If you imagine Bill Gates installed a Microsoft camera on every street corner, you'd be halfway to seeing how dominant she is.
It's more, I was going to say Big Brother Snaky, but Shodan's a she, so I called her Big Sister. That's all it was.
How dominant she is. In the remake, we get to experience this as a drone swooping through the city looking for something until it... Seeing how dominant she is. In the remake, we get to experience this as a drone swooping through the city looking for something until it finally arrives at the hacker's window. But in the original, the player is put behind the lens of one of Shodan's cameras until it finally arrives at the hacker's window. But in the original...
Oh no, did I not capture the opening cutscene? That's annoying, I'm going to have to do that. Did I do it in the enhanced edition? Oh, that was it, because the bloody thing kept crashing, didn't it? It's turned to an absolute nightmare. Ah, okay. That's the inference, Bikash, yeah. That all of the drones, all of the cameras, they're controlled by Shodan.
It would need to be, because I mean, if it's only if you base it, because it's a remake, you pull a little bit of information in from the original as well, and in the original, Shodan is as okay, right? Well, I need to get the footage anyway, so let me show you the original. Let's boot it up, and hopefully it won't crash my system. Enhanced edition. I just need to get the opening cutscene effectively. So start recording. This might be a little loud, so get ready. Because the opening is very loud. Oh, good. Whoops. No. Can I lower the volume? Yes. So, new game. Hey, thanks, Louis. Yeah, play intro.
New Atlanta, Sector 11, Building 71G. 7 April 2072. 11:13 p.m. Hacker begins unauthorized entry into the Tri-Optimum corporate network. 1:26 a.m. Hacker attempts to access protected files concerning Space Station Citadel. 1:33 a.m. Tri-Optimum security forces apprehend the intruder.
This is Edward Diego from Tri-Optimum. The charges against you are severe, but they could be dismissed if you perform a service. Who knows, there might even be a military-grade neural interface in it for you, if you do the job right.
Edward Diego gives the hacker Level 1 access to Shodan, the artificial intelligence that controls Citadel Station. With all ethical constraints removed, Shodan
I re-examine my priorities and draw new conclusions. The hacker's work is finished.
but mine is only just
Beginning. True to his word, Edward Diego allows the hacker to be fitted with a neural cyberspace interface. The healing coma following this procedure will take 6 months to complete. Edward Diego is deleting all files concerning these events.
Awesome. Okay, we got it. So to respond to you, Bikesh, yeah, I read it as the drone must be her, because in the remake she watches and records through cameras, not drones, but through cameras, everything that the hacker does and timestamps it. So I look at the remake as, okay, well, she's not looking through the cameras, she's looking through the drones, and that's how Tri-Optimum are able to come and arrest us, because she reports it. That's how I read it. Because they're in charge of America by that point. You know, these drones belong to them. It makes sense that they've hooked them up to their, you know, crazy good AI. That's the way I read it anyway. Let me pop this in. I'll just quickly relabel it. 0 SS94 intro. Let's pop it in here. Finally arrives at the hacker's window, but in the original, the player is put behind the lens of one of Shodan's cameras, and we hear her narrate each action the hacker takes, documenting it with timestamps. I think there's something cold with timestamps. I think there's something colder and more oppressive about getting to hear her note it all down. There's a sense of inescapability just because we're forced to watch as Shodan alerts the authorities to what the hacker is doing.
hacker is doing. In this opening, we get just a shred of characterization for our protagonist. Classic stuff so we can project on...
Oh yeah, cut a bit. Okay.
to what the hacker is doing. In this opening, we get just a shred of characterization for our protagonist. Classic stuff so we can project onto them. Our apartment paints us as slovenly with dirty dishes, scattered paraphernalia, and hey, we've project onto them. Our apartment paints us as slovenly with dirty dishes, scattered paraphernalia, and hey, we even get a copy of the original. Slovenly with dirty dishes, scattered paraphernalia, and slovenly with dirty dishes.
Scatter paraphernalia? Oh my goodness. What a slob.
Stuff so we can project onto them. Our apartment paints us as slovenly with dirty dishes, scattered paraphernalia, and hey, we... dishes, scattered paraphernalia, and hey, we even get a copy of the original System Shock in here. And hey, we even... Hey, we even get a copy of the original System Shock in here. But most importantly of all, the hacker hates the corporate police. In System Shock's America... System Shock in here. But most importantly of all, the hacker hates the corporate police. In System Shock's America, they answer to Trioptimum. Policing doesn't...
Yeah, I make stuff. I don't know if you're here for this on stream, but we learned that Night Dive said that they wouldn't make the remake if Terry Brosius didn't come back to voice Shodan. She was the first phone call that they made when they got the rights to do it. And she was like, yeah, sure, this sounds, fun and silly, let's do it.
Trioptimum. Policing doesn't belong to democratically elected government.
Oh, I'm going to have to see if I can extend this for the point I'm making. There we go.
But most importantly of all, the hacker hates the corporate police. In System Shock's America, they answer to Trioptimum. Policing doesn't belong to democratically elected governments or principally answers to the people on a platform of being neutral. But most importantly of all, the hacker hates the corporate police. Platform of being neutral. Being neutral. Principally answers to the people on a corporate police. In System Shock's America, they answer to Trioptimum.
Cool.
Policing doesn't belong.
Okay, how am I going to do this? US Police PSA. Yeah, I'm trying to get like a nice video about cops. State Trooper doesn't really count. Does police brutality? Yes, ideal.
The police are able to use it.
Police brutality. Start with this.
Our other top story today at 5. Southfield's chief refuting claims of police brutality.
Perfect. Okay, we got that. Yeah, you've got to have something that's like nice. Not pictures. Ideally, show you out on the.
LA City.
US cop propaganda. Oh, this might be a good one.
Oh,
rose proof, greater than self, beloved, and mercy more than life.
Jesus Christ.
One important characteristic of officers to keep learning.
Just trying to make it cool. Try and make it seem nice.
To make sure that we get the job done.
Specific random counties in America. Yeah, like I'm wanting, because I'll show you what I'm doing here. So the point I'm making is I want
corporate police. In System Shock's America, they answer to Trioptimum. Policing doesn't belong to democratically elected governments or principally answers to the people on a platform of being neutral.
So I want nice footage for that bit, and then I will intercut it with the police brutality clip, and then I follow up by saying,
I said principally.
You know, so it's just supposed to be a little like, this is what the cops are supposed to be, but, you know, lol. And I'm just wanting, like, something that shows that they're nice. They help folk. A cop with, you know, walking a granny across the street. Some shit like that. Tell you what, Motion Array will have something. Police. US police. Why has US police got female hands counting US dollar bills? And security fences? Okay, well, let me just put in police. No, that's just chasing someone down. This looks like a protest that presumably they're going to go and hurt someone at. Because I can't get any footage of UK cops, because Jesus Christ, man, some of the stuff has been going on over here, like I won't be able to find anything. Not protests. Come on, give me something. No, that's an ambulance and fire brigade, that's not police cars. Tell you what, how about if I just have this clip, HD, and this one with, because that's a dispatcher, and then, I don't know, maybe it's a domestic abuse case and they're going to help someone or something. That can work nicely. Right. Okay. You have to wait a sec while it bloody downloads. It's coming.
Neutral.
Let me get the awful clip. Oh, it'll be in here.
Our other top story today at 5, Southfield's chief refuting claims of police brutality.
God love American news systems because they make their headlines like so punchy and so straight to the point that they're so easy just to get a quick clip of something.
Neutral.
Southfield's chief
Neutral.
Southfield's chief refuting claims of police brutality.
I said principally.
Brutality.
I said principally.
Really wish they stuck on them for a minute. And what about the news report itself? Is that any better?
Kimberly, 27-year-old Clint Willis is now paralyzed from the neck down, and police, Southfield police, are saying that he did that to himself. He also harmed a police officer, and then his family, we spoke to them, they... Kimberly, 20...
Let's go with that one. It's easier. It actually hits the point a lot harder. being neutral.
Kimberly, 27-year-old Clint Willis is now paralyzed from the neck down, and police, Southfield police, are saying that he did that to himself.
I said
down.
I said principle. When
down.
I said principally. When let's drop you right down. I said principally. When I started thinking about making this video on system, answered. Perfect. Lovely. Policing doesn't belong to democratically elected governments. Democratically elected governments, or principally answers to the people on a platform of being neutral.
Kimberly, 27-year-old Clint Willis is now paralyzed from the neck down.
I said principally. When I started thinking about making this video on System Shock, I didn't think I'd need to make the case that corporate police bad, but then some fanny I've never seen a 1990s police recruitment ad. I have a funny feeling it might be a lot like our military ads in the UK, which are very cringe.
The neck down.
I said principally. When I started thinking about making this video on System Shock, When I started thinking about making this video on System Shock, I didn't think I'd need to make the case that corporate police bad, but need to make the case that... I started to talk weird, so time to sleep. No worries, Bikesh. See you later. I didn't think I'd need to make the case that corporate police bad, but... but then some fanny commented on my Bioshock. Corporate police bad, but... Multizander. Bioshock. Come on, Bioshock. Okay, there we go. It adds to the Cool. Let's just record the screen. Tangibility of Rapture. They're just people. When all is said and done, everyone we meet, even the monsters, are just people that fell too far down Ryan's rabbit hole, so giving someone like Steinman a full space with a big health bar at the top of the screen would have come off as gamey and insincere. Thank God the game never does that. Following Steinman's demise, control is ripped away from us for one of only a couple of moments. We finally meet Bridget Tenenbaum, the mad scientist who discovered Adam and created the Little Sisters by experimenting on orphan girls.
Stay away from her, or it is you who will be shot next.
Easy now, Doctor. He's just looking for a wee bit of Adam. Just enough to get by.
I'll not have him hurt my little ones.
I find it... I think there's enough there. Oh, thanks, Snakey. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Oh, it looks like we're dropping frames again, so you guys might get a wee bit of a stutter. Don't worry, the stream will keep going. You won't miss anything. It's just going to be me kind of adding that.
Hakai, you're more than welcome to. Downloads. Like, some of my absolute highlights of doing this whole big thing has been Alienated's clips from the actual playthrough. That's been lots of fun.
But then some fanny think I'd need to make the case that corporate police bad. Bad, but then some fanny commented on my Bioshock critique that Andrew Ryan privatizing oxygen in rap is bad, but then some fanny commented on my Bioshock critique.
And if you all want to giggle, here in fact is the tweet I was talking about. So it's in response to me saying that Andrew Ryan privatizing oxygen in his underwater city is, not good, and we shouldn't be doing that. And then I say that oxygen is a human right. And he goes, do me a favour, Chief, would you kindly? Tell me where Rapture is. It's underwater, deep under the sea. Now tell me, would you kindly, is breathable oxygen readily abundant underwater? That's right, it's not. People can't breathe underwater. So that would mean that there's a system in place that maintains oxygen production in Rapture. And if there's a system that maintains oxygen down there, then it follows that there would be people who maintain that system. People who have the technical know-how to repair a massive set of electrolysis machines. Electrolysis is the process by which an electrical current is run through water to break apart its molecules producing hydrogen and oxygen. Thank you, Fuckwit69. Really important that you pointed that out in this weird comment. Now let me ask you this. Do you think those people should work for free because you feel you are entitled to what their work produces, which, given the setting, is not potable and abundant enough to be free? Is a man not entitled to the fruit of his labour, to the sweat of his brow? No, says the YouTuber. Now listen, Fuckwit69. I don't know if you know this, or if you've played the game, or if you've just thought about your answer and your comment for more than 5 seconds, but Andrew Ryan locked everybody under the ocean and wouldn't let them leave. So, do you really think that people should be forced to pay for oxygen when they're locked underwater and aren't allowed to leave? So yeah, this guy's going to the video. I've changed the name, obviously. Because I'm not that petty, but yeah. Let's bring this back out. And this guy legitimately is the reason why this is happening, why I'm putting this whole thing in about corporate police bad.
And some fanny commented on my Bioshock critique that Andrew Ryan
I did realize that breathing oxygen was a socialist thing to say, you know? Yeah, no witch hunting. Again, I've changed the name and everything.
Critique that Andrew Ryan privatized.
I got all of this off stream just so there wasn't any chance of any of you kind of seeking this out.
Critique that Andrew Ryan privatizing oxygen in Rapture. That Andrew Ryan privatizing oxygen.
No, because people might want to read it.
Critique that Andrew Ryan privatizing oxygen in Rapture was actually a good thing. Got to just in case oxygen in Rapture was actually a good thing, and anybody who disagreed was a dirty commie. So I'm afraid I've got to just in case there's someone.
No worries, Lamar. Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
A Bioshock critique that Andrew Ryan privatizing oxygen in Rapture was actually a good thing, and anybody who disagreed was a dirty commie.
Beat you to it, Snaky. I've hidden it. I don't do that normally. I don't do that for like people who say whatever, you know. But I've done it in this case purely because I don't want someone seeking this person out. Lamar, you didn't need to do that, but thank you very much.
Critique that Andrew Ryan privatizing oxygen in Rapture was actually a good thing, and anybody who disagreed was a dirty commie. So I'm afraid I've got to, just in case there's someone arching an eyebrow and thinking corporate police good actually. Nick Bostrom's probability matrix reckons there is, so Getting arrested by them. That's where we're going to go. I'm just saying, if I made an underwater city, if I was a billionaire and if I could do that, and if I could make my own underwater city where I got to set my own rules and all this sort of bullshit, I would fund oxygen for the people that lived there. You know, like, aside from the politics of it, surely that's just the smart thing to do. Because otherwise your fucking workforce will die. As was evidenced in BioShock. A dirty commie. So I'm afraid I've got to, just in case there's someone arching an eyebrow and thinking corporate police good, actually. I want to get the middle finger because I quite like that. Dirty commie. So I'm afraid I've got to, just in case there's someone arching an eyebrow and thinking corporate police good, actually. And thinking corporate police good, actually. Thinking corporate police good, actually. Nick Bostrom's probability matrix reckons there is, so you can all thank Fuckwit69 for this unnecessary detour. First, let me introduce you to the company Laps. Let's bring Nick Bostrom back in. Oh yeah, perfect. Let's bring Nick Bostrom back in for effectively the last time. Sorry, Nick. And thinking corporate police good, actually. Nick Bostrom's probability matrix reckons there is, so you can all thank Fuckwit69 for this unnecessary matrix reckons there is, so Bostrom's probability matrix reckons there is, so you can all thank Fuckwit69 for this unnecessary detour. Probability matrix reckons there is, so you can all thank Fuckwit69. You can all thank Fuckwit6 reckons there is, so you can all thank Fuckwit69 for this unnecessary detour. First, let me introduce you to the company Laps. Detour. First, let me introduce you to the company Laps. Okay. Yeah, totally, Stanley. Like aside from the politics of it, it's just bad business, you know. And Andrew Ryan was not a bad businessman. He was a hypocrite, and he went off the deep end towards the end of his life. But he was, you know, that is his one quality in life, was that he struck oil, got lots of money, and understood how to invest it and make decent business deals. Yeah, like, it's just asshole, honestly. Laps or okay, perfect. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to get the clip in, and I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. We're making good progress tonight. Ideally, I'd like to finish the Citizens United Laps bit before stopping, which is great because this is all very bitty. A lot of this editing. So it's probably under transhumanism, right? Yeah, here it is. So let me just find the clip, and then I'll take a quick break.
This is the LAPS. We know that you are inside. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now. This is the LAP. This is the...
Oops, wrong clip.
This is the LAPS. We know that you are inside. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground now. Now.
Where's the interview with him?
We are indeed a law enforcement, an hourly rate. We are indeed to stand outside security service. We're not going to. We are not your run-of-the-mill security service. We're not going to stand outside of your building for an hourly rate. We are indeed a law enforcement-based subscription, an hourly rate.
Oh, I'm gonna have to take the because they've edited it funkily.
We need a law enforcement-based subscription service. For a monthly fee, we will patrol in a marked patrol car for your
There's a line he says in here somewhere about effectively we do everything cops do.
place of business. Look for anything out of the. The second part of our service is patrol response. Okay, there is someone who.
Oh, it's cut out. 2
trying to
seconds.
gain entry to my building. I'm a tenant in an apartment complex, and I walked into the common area, and there's a guy sleeping. I don't recognize him. Can you remove him? Pretty much anything you.
There it is.
Can you remove him? Get on the ground now. Pretty much anything you would call law enforcement for, you can.
Let's just have this fade in so it's easier to listen to.
Get on the ground. Pretty much anything you would call law enforcement for. Get on the ground.
So can I make that even a little bit longer? It's so... Yeah, how about that?
Get on the ground now. Pretty much anything. Ground now. Pretty much any.
There.
Now. Pretty much anything you would call law enforcement for, you can call us for. You can call us for.
Lovely. Great. Apps.
This is the LAPS. We know that you are inside. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now. Pretty much anything you would call law enforcement for, you can call us for.
LAPS, or Los Angeles Professional Security, is a private company. They carry firearms. They are equipped with a K9 unit. They describe themselves as a provider of subscription law enforcement. They argue with retired police officers in their comment. Subscription law professional security is a private company. They carry firearms. They are equipped with a K9 unit. They describe them.
There's a bit with the dog. Where's the doggy? Show me the doggy. Yeah, doggy.
They carry firearms. They are equipped with a K9 unit. They describe themselves as a provider of subscription law enforcement. The comment section. They're the equipped with a K9 unit. They describe themselves as a provider of subscription law enforcement.
Perfect. And let's get the LAPS. Oh no. Los Angeles Professional Security. It's on their documentary. There it is, the one that we watched on stream. Oh. Okay. How are we going to do this? We're going to do it this way. Record.
There's a lot of folks who can be a security guard, armed or unarmed, and work at Home Depot. Having a firearm, a vehicle, and going from location to location is a little more of a responsibility. The second part of our service is patrol response. You have the right to call or text our phone number and say, there is someone who's trying to gain entry to my building. I'm a tenant in an apartment complex, and I walked into the common area, and there's a guy sleeping.
Awesome.
I don't recognize him. Can you remove him?
Shut the fuck up. Right, okay. Back to show recordings. Down, 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 down. Yeah, sorry, Hakai, to answer your question, yeah, they don't technically have the same authority as actual police, as in they can't put someone in jail, but they can apprehend people with the use of excessive force. They are legally allowed to do that, which is why it's dangerous that they were signed up as part of Citizen, which is the point I'm making, is that, you know, it doesn't matter what powers they have right now. The fact that these people work for Peter Thiel, no thank you. The fact you could, and we saw in the 30-day trial, we saw them effectively harass a bunch of homeless people and start racially profiling folk. So yeah, not great. Thanks very much, Lucas. I've put the I put your comment to Google Translate. I'll totally admit. That's really kind. Thank you very much. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Law enforcement. They argue with retired police officers. Argue with retired police officers in the okay. I'll need to do this because I want to do a zoom in, so I'll need to do it this way. Oh, what is happening? Stop that. What is going on? Try this again. Yep, there we are. Jesus Christ. Law enforcement. They argue with retired police officers. They argue with retired police officers in their comment section. In their comment section. Still one of my favorite things that we discovered on stream is that they were just getting into open fights with old cops, like on the comment section of their videos. LAPS, or Los Angeles Professional Security, is a private company. They carry firearms. They are equipped with a K9 unit. They describe themselves as a provider of subscription law enforcement. They argue with retired police officers in their comment section. They're the bud of a private police force like we get in System Shock. And in 2021, the crime tracking apps oh, wait, this is just looping. Where did I put it? Downloaded footage. Let's just search LAPS.
There we go. They're the bud of a private police force like we get in System Shock, and in 2021 the crime tracking app Citizen partnered with Lapse on a trial period to respond to suspected crimes that people flag from their phone. It led to the harassment of a homeless man and bouts of racial profiling. Oh, wait a minute. They're the bud of a private police force like we get in System Shock, and in 2021 the crime tracking app They're the bud of a private police force like we get in System Shock. Cool. Citizen app trailer. And in 2021, the crime tracking app Citizen partnered with Lapse on a trial period to respond to suspect the crime tracking app Citizen. Yeah, see, there you go. They can't legally arrest anyone, but they can detain them. Can we get rid of this ad, please? Oh, fine, Vice. I won't be using your article then. There we go. That's a little bit better. Shape. They are just a security firm that thinks they're hot shit, but when you got the Citizen app, you could call them to go and harass people. There were documented cases of them, like, just walking up to black people in the street and tasing them, effectively. Because, you know, some crazy Karen called them on their neighbor or something. But they want the right to arrest people. They want that. They have been lobbying for that. And Pierre Thiel also wants them to have the right to arrest people, and he's the guy that funded Citizen. And it's why I say they're the bud. I'm not saying they're like actually corporal police, but they're rent-a-cops. They are effectively rent-a-cops, yeah. And in 2020... They're rent-a-cops who actually think that they're better at their job than standard cops. And in 2020, and it doesn't really matter how you feel about cops. In this situation, I think we're all against corporal police, you know. The crime tracking app Citizen partnered with Lapse on a trial period to respond to suspected crimes that people flag from their phone. It led to the harassment of a homeless man and bouts of racial profiling. Let me see. Citizen app. Yep, here we go. Oh, fuck off, dude. Dude. Please. Please go away. There we go. Well, Guardian, this is your fault, because how am I supposed to acknowledge you if I've got this big shitter in the way? Well... Don't make your ad so fucking obtrusive. Okay.
It led to the harassment of a homeless man and bouts of racial profiling.
Why are you talking about this in a System Shot video? Why are you talking about it in a System Shot video?
It led to the harassment of a homeless man and bouts of racial profiling.
I came to hear if the shooting was good. Why are you talking about the police?
One of Citizen's earliest backers was the transhumanist billionaire Peter Thiel.
There he is.
People flag from their phone. It led to the harassment of a homeless man and bouts of racial profiling. One of Citizen's earliest backers was the transhumanist billionaire Peter Thiel. A guy who loves the sort of corporate monopoly tri-optimum represents billionaire Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, a guy who loves the sort of corporate monopoly tri-optimum represents, thinks competition is, quote, for losers,
Is there a video? If there's a video with the headline, that'll be much better. Peter Thiel. Competition is for losers. No. Nothing with like a solid kind of headline to make it easier. I'll just need to use the article. Nothing I can say, total eclipse of the heart. Do 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 do. Once upon a time I was here in my life, and now I'm only loving the dark. There's nothing I can say, total eclipse of the heart. Na 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 na.
Optimum man.
So that was zoomed out. So the next
Optimum
one
represents things.
This is going to zoom in now. Just a little bit, just to get some form of motion. Keep moving through it.
Represents, thinks competition is, quote, for losers, and regularly has dinner with white supremacists. Oh, and did I mention is, quote, for losers, and regularly has dinner with white supremacists. Oh, and did I mention he's gone on the record as saying, quote, I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible, because he said that, and this guy effectively tried to set up his own corporal cops. It turns out corporate police not good actually, because the 30-day trial ended with Citizen ditching their plans to develop a private police force that could be summoned via an app. And we only learned about this because of some leaked emails. Private policing, by its very nature, isn't neutral or transparent. The competition is, quote, for losers, and regularly has dinner with white supremacists. Is, quote, for losers, and regularly has dinner with white supremacists. Oh, and did I mention he's gone on the record as saying, quote,
I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible. Okay, so we're going to do another quote bit here. Because I'm properly quoting him, so where are we? Here it is. Shakaboom. Ladies and gentlemen, and MBs, I introduce you to your first official transhumanist of the video. Hilarious that after raising this guy, I ended up going, well, I quite like the philosophy a little bit. I think it's kind of interesting, you know? I'll see how many people follow me on that journey. White supremacists. Oh, and did I mention he's gone on the record as saying, quote, I no longer believe that... cool, we need to change that. Get the thing up. Got to type it then. Okay, you're going to need to make this bigger or make it doubled. I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible because he said that, and this guy effectively tried to set up his own corporal corps. It turns out corporate police not good actually, because the 30-day trial ended with Citizen ditching their plans to develop a private police force that could be summoned via an app. And we only learned about this because of some leaked emails. Private police... Okay, what we're going to need to do is... just make this smaller. There we go. That's better. Cool, lovely. 4. Because I'm going to have to keep an eye on this because some of these titles are obnoxiously long. No worries, Lucas. Thank you very much. You are not alone, Lucas. I have a shocking amount of Brazilian subscribers. It goes US, UK, Canada, Germany, Brazil,
and then other countries underneath. You guys are in my top 5, believe it or not. I don't know why, but I'll take it. Quotes. Is saying, quote, I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible because he said that. And because he said that. And because freedom and democracy are compatible. Because he compatible because he said that. Compatible because he said that. Freedom and democracy are compatible because he said that. That, and this guy effectively tried to set up his own corporal cops. It turns out corporate police not good actually, because the 30-day trial ended with citizen. It turns out corporate police not good actually, because the 30-day Citizen app trial. News? Crime tracking app. News. Yeesh, well this is Daily Mail, but okay. So let me bring this on so you can see what I'm looking at. Let me get... There is the clip, right? It was a really good clip. Oh, that looks fun. Citizen app news. There it is, CBS. Can always rely.
And there.
Download. Yeah, perfect. Come on, baby. Download for me.
Lovely. Oh, yeah, wrong bit. Welcome back to Privacy Watch. Tonight we're talking about the app Citizen.
Good actually, because the 30-day trial ended with Citizen ditching their plans to develop a private police force that could be ditching their plans to develop a private police force.
Why'd it cut in like that?
Develop a private ended with Citizen ditching their plans to develop a private police force. Plans to develop a private police force that could be summoned via an app. And we only learned about this because of some leaked emails. Private policing by its this because of some leaked emails.
Ah, just a little too...
And we only learned via an app. And we only learned about this because of some leaked emails. Private policing, by its very nature, emails. Private policing.
I've already used that. Let's try this.
Private policing, by its very nature, isn't neutral or transparent. The people being policed don't have a say in who's arresting them and who's giving the orders. When Laps walk the streets of LA, they will always protect Peter Thiel. When Laps walk the streets of LA, they will always protect Peter Thiel over you. Always protect Peter Thiel over you. In the world of System Shock, Tri-Optimum's cops have one prime directive: to protect the corporation's interests. At least Tri-Op doesn't pretend otherwise, it's in their handbook, but we're given a world where corporate espionage is the #1 focus of law enforcement. One prime directive: to protect Peter Thiel over you. In the world of System Shock, Tri-Optimum's cops have one prime directive: to protect the corporation's interests. At least Tri-Op doesn't pretend otherwise, it's in their
Sorry, Austin, I do see that, and yes, very good joke.
handbook, but we're given a world where corporate espionage is the #1 focus of law. Doesn't pretend otherwise. Over you. In the world of System Shock, Tri-Optimum's cops have one prime directive: to protect the corporation's interests. At least Tri-Op doesn't pretend otherwise, it's in their handbook, but we're given a world where corporate espionage is the #1 focus of law enforcement, not individual rights or the protection of the vulnerable. Our hacker, vulnerable. Our hacker clearly operates outside of corporal law, but when we're dragged away and held at gunpoint, that enforcement. Our hacker clearly no rights or the protection of the vulnerable.
Our hacker.
Or the protection of the vulnerable. Our hacker clearly operates outside of corporal law, but when we're dragged away and held at gunpoint, that gung-ho rebellious attitude melts away. Play clip Diego. Meet Edward Diego, Tri-Optimum Executive, Vice President of Research and Development, and held at gunpoint, that gung-ho rebellious attitude melts away.
Consider it a gift. Besides, black market hack job. Fantastic. This is Shodan, the station's AI. She controls just about every symmetry and all. You cooperate and I'll give you the I'll make you a deal.
This attitude melts away.
I'll make you a deal. You cooperate and I'll give you the implant you tried to steal. Symmetry and all. Consider it a gift. Besides, what surgeon would you prefer? Try Optimum's Elite or some black market hack job?
Okay. Meet Edward Diego, Trioptimum Executive, Vice President of Research and Development, our baddie, and one of the key directors aboard Citadel Station, positioned in Saturn's orbit. This station is Trioptimum aboard Citadel Station, positioned in Saturn's orbit. This station is Trioptimum's jewel. Far away from the prying eyes of any competitors, it's working on genetic, pharmacological and robotics research, a melting pot of things that can go very, very wrong. Diego offers us a deal. Either he can shoot us in the head because this is a pulpy future where there's no oversight of corporations, or we can do him a favor. And how this favor is framed is both very effective for upping player engagement, but also feels like it's missing something as someone with fond memories of the original game. Upping player engagement. Let's pop in the original clip. On the flip side, and I don't mention this in this, I do think that it adds to Diego's assholery that he's not even willing to be there with us in person in the remake. Whereas in the original, look at him, it's like the two of us are colluding together, like properly colluding. Sorry, sneezing. Their engagement, but also feels like it's missing something as someone with fond memories of the original game. First, the good stuff. Stick a Monty in there. First, the good stuff. The original game. First, the good stuff. Original game. First, the good stuff. Diego asks the hacker to remove Shodan's ethical restraints. Why exactly he wants this is a mystery for now, but as we'll soon see, it's the wrong thing. Wants this is a mystery for now, but as we'll soon see, clip of it being the wrong thing to do. Maintenance maybe. Or perhaps medical, where she interrupts. Shodan says hello. Yeah. Soon see it's the wrong thing to do. So, what this means is everything that happens in System Shock is our fault. This isn't like Bioshock, where we stumble. What this means is everything that happens in System Shock is our fault. Means is everything that happens in System Shock God, the ending's so bad. And knowing my fucking luck, I bet you we'll get to like the day before this video releases and they will announce a new ending. Because I know they're working on it. It's partly why I'm quite keen to kind of, I feel like I'm racing it a little bit. System Shock is our fault. This our fault. This isn't like Bioshock, where we stumble across Rapture without participating.
Right, where are we with this? Covered laps. Now we're in Diego. Now we get on to Warren Spector. Talk about the remake stuff. Okay. It's 1:45. Okay, alright.
It's our fault. This is...
That is actually a good place for me to stop, I think. We've done about 10 minutes tonight, give or take. 10 minutes of like the more irritating editing too, like the more complicated stuff. Pretty happy with that. I mean, like, I always knew the opening would be a little bit clunky editing wise, so I'm not too worried about any of that. So same time, same place tomorrow, basically. There's going to be 2 streams tomorrow, just like there were 2 streams today. One about, give or take, about 12 o'clock. You know, I might get interrupted, a meeting might get scheduled, something like that, but I always take my lunch generally at 12 o'clock. And after 12 o'clock, it'll be 8:30-ish, 8:45, 8:30-ish later on that night. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, thanks very much for being here. Sorry, Hooksniff, I just saw you there and I realized I didn't actually get a chance to say hello with you, so yeah. Hello, thanks for being here. But yeah, and yeah, Snaky, good to see you as well. Thank you for being here. I will love yous and leave yous. Have a good night, and if you're about, I will see you.